cursed dress. Could it be that a young beauty found herself in mortal danger because of her wedding gown? Don't miss this shocking revelation. Who took the life of the woman's mother, and why does she feel so guilty? This is the show of real and gripping stories, psychic investigations. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants delve into mysterious paranormal phenomena and unravel intricate criminal cases. The happy bride in this video is 25-year-old Ukrainian Karolina Kaliuk. Her wedding to her beloved Mikita was one of the most significant events in her life. Behind her, however, was a failed common-law marriage, the only joy from which was the birth of her son, Kostya.
Kostya's biological father used to beat me and throw me out onto the street when I was pregnant, and even after I gave birth.
For a long time, the young mother raised her son alone. Finally, Karolina found a wonderful husband and father for her little boy. She says that with Mikita, she finally felt safe and secure, as if she was behind a fortress wall.
He does everything for me. It's clear he loves me, and I love him just as much. Even though Kostya isn't his biological child, he treats him as if he were his own.
The entire village joined the celebration of the couple's wedding, but Karolina had no idea that this joyous day would mark the beginning of a nightmare. From that moment on, she would constantly be haunted by mortal danger. Thus, at the very celebration, during the traditional bridal abduction ritual, Karolina suffered a horrifying facial injury.
The woman who was abducting me said, "Quick, get in the car so we can drive off a bit."
But as Karolina approached the car, she suddenly felt as though someone had pushed her in the back, even though no one was there.
In that moment, I hit my forehead on the edge of the car door. It split my forehead open, and I started bleeding.
That was only the beginning. Later that night, after the newlyweds returned home and went to bed, Karolina woke up feeling like she was suffocating. She described it as though her chest was being compressed by a cold, metallic corset.
I woke up because I felt this pressure. I couldn't breathe enough to even say a word.
Karolina reached out to wake her husband. When Mikita saw her struggling to breathe, he immediately called an ambulance and took her outside for fresh air. Luckily, the strange attack subsided after a few minutes. However, doctors couldn't explain the cause.
The doctors couldn't figure out what caused it. I don't have asthma, allergies, or anything like that. My heart works fine. Everything is normal.
But as Karolina was leaving the hospital after her checkup, she once again felt a strange push from behind.
And I just started tumbling down the stairs.
The woman fell down over 10 steps, hitting her head hard.
I tumbled straight from the second floor to the first.
Karolina suffered a concussion and was hospitalized.
These things happen suddenly, and they're terrifying. It can't just be a coincidence.
When Karolina finally returned home from the hospital, she decided to clean up and store her wedding dress in the closet. But while inspecting the gown, she noticed something strange.
When I began packing it into the garment bag, I saw these spots on the dress, like wax marks, little holes burned in, as if by a candle.
But how did the holes end up in the middle layers of the tulle skirt, particularly around the waist?
If it were from the bottom, it would make sense, but this is right here, at this level.
Karolina even tried experimenting, but discovered that candle wax doesn't burn through this kind of fabric.
It doesn't burn through. It just drips through the layers but doesn't leave any holes.
To this day, Karolina cannot understand how these mysterious holes appeared on her wedding dress. She suspects it might be some form of curse.
Maybe someone did something to it.
It turns out the dress wasn't brand new. Karolina had found it on a classifieds website and immediately knew it was the dress she had always dreamed of.
Like a princess from a fairy tale.
The dress was being sold by a girl who had recently worn it for her own wedding. Karolina arranged a meeting and went to try it on.
I tried it on. It was exactly what I wanted. I gave her the money right away and took it home.
Karolina says that she was so overjoyed to have found her dream dress that she didn't closely inspect it before buying. Now, she is convinced that it's the source of the mortal danger she keeps finding herself in. One of the most recent incidents still brings her to tears. She was nearly mauled by a neighbor's dog.
It was an alibi. His name was Shock. I'd often played with him, petted him. He'd never shown any aggression.
But when Karolina, as usual, went to her neighbor's house on an errand, it was as if something possessed the dog. Shock broke free from his chain and lunged at her.
He bit my arm, piercing it, and tore the skin right off. You look and think, oh God, what if it grabs my face now and just tears it apart, and that's it?
At the last moment, the dog's owner pulled it away from Karolina.
My husband took me to the hospital. They stitched up my hand.
The woman doesn't know where the next danger might come from. She says she wants her normal, peaceful life back with her husband and little son. She pleads with the psychics for help.
Please help me. Please help me figure this out.
I'm worried about my wife. I want the psychics to come.
The young mother's plea for help was answered by psychics Olena Kurilova and Rubina Cybulska.
Olena, you know, when I tune into the photo of Karolina in this dress, I hear a strange sound. It's like the snipping of scissors.
Scissors?
Yes. And now I see a young woman. She has dark hair and brown eyes. She's holding scissors in her hands and seems to be cutting something with them.
Could it be Karolina's dress? Are you seeing the woman who cursed it?
I don't know. Oh my God. Now I see this woman dead. She's been murdered and bloody scissors are lying nearby.
What a nightmare. Betrayal. The cards are showing me some kind of betrayal in a love triangle.
But what does Karolina have to do with it? Where should we look for the answer?
And then suddenly a flash appears before my eyes. I see something strange. A shattered cross. Lightning strikes the cross.
Half an hour later, the project's experts arrive in the village where Karolina lives. Her husband and son are currently visiting relatives in another village, and Karolina is already waiting for the psychics outside her house.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so glad you came.
Give me your hand, please. The cards told me we need to find a woman holding severed heads in her hands. She is the reason why danger is coming to you.
Who is this woman? Has there ever been anything like this in your family?
No, nothing like that.
Strange. I see an image now. 3 graves side by side, 3 deaths in one family, and it's somehow connected to magic. One thought kept running through my mind. Could these 3 coffins symbolize death coming for Karolina, her husband, and their little boy?
But I couldn't understand, what does the dress have to do with this? We need to take a look at that dress.
Yes, of course. Let's go.
The moment we stepped inside, it felt as though a chill swept over me. Someone from the spirit world was in the room. Let's scan the space.
Did you see that?
It moved. It was like someone picked it up and put it back down, and no one was near it.
It felt like someone from the other world had passed by Karolina and me.
My legs are giving out.
Wait. The card said it was someone's spirit. Come to me. Cats are highly sensitive to paranormal energy. Karolina's cat also sensed the presence of the spirit.
The animal feels this spirit not for the first time.
She sometimes sits there and looks around.
As if she's looking at someone?
Yes.
Yes, this spirit often appears within your walls. I then thought, maybe they attached some spirit to the dress through a ritual, and after the wedding, it settled in Karolina's house? Show me the dress. What a beautiful one. In the reflection of my mirror, this white dress turned black. It looked like it was covered in soot. The dress really carries a curse. I see an image of a woman burning the dress with candles and whispering some kind of incantations over it. However, this wasn't the brunette I saw earlier in my vision. She was holding scissors. It was another unfamiliar woman. But I feel that the curse on this dress wasn't made for death, but for a woman's infertility.
Well, that's exactly it. My husband really wants a child, but nothing is working out for us. We went to the hospital, did all the tests and everything.
The doctors told Karolina that she needed surgery and long-term expensive treatment. She says these problems started right after the wedding.
Where did all of this come from? I'm just really scared.
This curse was placed on the first girl who owned the dress.
Is there any way to stop this? So it doesn't continue? So that I don't break up because of it? So that a child can come? Because we want one, but it's not working.
Yes, we'll try to sort this out. But what worried me more was why Karolina keeps ending up in life-threatening situations. The dress has nothing to do with it. Something else is destroying you. And I feel this started long before the wedding.
At that moment, I saw an image of a horse rearing up. Then I saw Karolina lying on the ground unconscious. Was it a horse or something else?
A horse hit me in the head.
The woman says this happened when she was a teenager. Karolina loved horses, so she often took care of a stallion that belonged to her neighbors.
I would watch him, feed him, and take him out to graze.
Karolina still doesn't understand why the usually calm animal suddenly seemed to go mad.
He just hit me in the head and I fell. That's all. I don't remember anything after that. He struck me near my temple, but thankfully didn't hit it directly.
What a nightmare.
Karolina lost consciousness in the middle of the forest. There was no one around to help her. By some miracle, a local girl who lived on the outskirts of the village stumbled upon her.
A girl from our village brought me back to consciousness. I don't know what would have happened if she hadn't passed by.
Karolina is being followed by something very powerful and dark. This force seems to have the ability to influence animals. The incidents with the horse and the neighbor's dog confirm this, but that's not all.
And more. I see water. Like you're drowning. Has this happened?
Yes, it happened twice.
Before the wedding?
Yes.
According to Karolina, it happened shortly after she started dating Mikita. He had invited her and her son on a picnic by the sea.
We were all swimming, and suddenly it felt like something was pulling me down. I was drowning. He had to pull me out by my hair.
You keep getting saved at the very last moment. But this cannot go on forever. We needed to figure out where the deadly threat to Karolina was coming from. But first, we had to remove the curse from the dress. We need to perform a ritual to neutralize this infertility curse. We'll need an open space.
The clairvoyants moved to a small clearing behind Karolina's house. As the psychics began their preparations, local residents started gathering around out of curiosity.
I transferred the curse from the dress onto a red fabric and destroyed it in fire. But of course, the ritual didn't leave Karolina untouched. She could feel the negative energy being cut away from her.
Here, it's like there's some kind of vibration. It burns here.
You can feel the curse leaving you. After the treatment, your dream of having a child with your husband will come true. But the question remains, what is continuously pushing you toward the clutches of death?
I really want you to help me.
Suddenly, rocks fell from the window of an abandoned building near Karolina's home.
Right after that, I started feeling sharp pain in my heart.
I see a man's spirit. Do you feel it? He's standing right behind you.
There's just this warmth.
Dark hair, a smile like yours. He looks about 30 to 35 years old.
Dad.
Your father passed away.
I was still very little. I didn't even go to his funeral.
It happened in the summer. Karolina was about to start first grade. She said her father had promised to take her to the store to buy a school backpack, but the next day, he suddenly suffered a heart attack.
Cardiac arrest. It all just ended in a moment. It hurts. When you see a child walking with their dad, hugging, kissing them, I never had that.
The cards told me that your father's spirit keeps visiting you from the other side. But why?
You called him yourself. How is that possible?
When we were little, we used to summon spirits. I had a cousin. My cousin's sister and I don't even remember where we saw or heard about it.
And did you and your cousin often perform this ritual to summon your father?
A few times.
Was it a spirit board? Or what exactly did you use?
We would go outside and take sticks, just like this. We would tie them up and place them on a cross. Then we'd just call out, "Dad, come to us. If you can hear me, give me a sign."
The ritual Karolina described sounded like complete nonsense. And yet, I had a strong feeling that her father did come to her. And she could feel him.
Incredibly, Karolina claims that strange things really did happen during these rituals.
The curtain would suddenly move, and you could feel that someone was there, someone's presence.
It wasn't the ritual itself. It was the invisible bond between you. Your father heard your voice from the world of the dead and came to you. But this connection began even earlier. At that moment, I saw a vision in my mirror. Karolina, around 10 years old, crying at a cemetery. You called out to your father at his grave.
I was just a little girl. Yes, I went to his grave and I just cried and begged him to help me.
I can feel how desperate you were. But who pushed you to that point?
We were poor. At school, they always made fun of me. They'd push me, pull my hair, and there was no one to stand up for me. I just went to him and begged him to help me, so they would stop hurting me.
But where was your mother at that time? Didn't she see that you were being bullied?
At that moment, I felt that Karolina's mother was there. But it was as if she had shut herself off from the world. Lost in some deep depression. I asked the cards why. Blows. Blows of fate. Oh my God, 2 children. 2 children lost their lives.
Yes.
It turned out that a few years after Karolina's father passed away, her mother remarried. The couple dreamed of having children together, but instead, they endured a terrible tragedy. In just 3 years, they buried both a baby boy and a girl, born one after the other. The boy died first.
He was stillborn.
Karolina's baby sister died at just 8 months old. Doctors diagnosed it as sudden infant death syndrome.
She was lying in her crib, and my mother and I were sleeping just across from her. When my mother went to check on her, she was already cold.
Karolina says her mother was consumed by grief, falling into a deep depression.
How awful. I can feel that soon after. Your mother lost her second husband as well, and his death, it wasn't natural.
Here he is, the hanged man.
Yes, he hanged himself.
These losses are what broke your mother. She was in such grief that she didn't pay any attention to you at all.
It's like she just didn't have time for me.
That's why you went to your father's grave to cry out for help.
Yes.
From the moment you first called out to your father, he has always come to help you.
Because he knows that no one else will protect you.
I call him often, just to ask for his help.
And do you know why your father's spirit came now? Because you just asked for help.
I really want you to help me.
Every time Karolina found herself in life-threatening situations, it was her father's spirit that saved her. He was protecting his daughter, not harming her.
Then why is this young mother constantly facing mortal danger?
In my reading, I saw the image of 2 dead children again. But they weren't Karolina's brother and sister who died as infants. These were different children. And the cards revealed that they were murdered.
Suddenly, I heard Karolina's father's voice again. He said a strange phrase. What is killing you is what killed Alexander. Right now, I see an image, a noose. This Alexander, he hanged himself. Who could this be?
That's my late stepfather. He took his own life.
Was his name Alexander?
Yes.
I started thinking, could the late stepfather, the one who took his own life, somehow be connected to what's happening to Karolina now? My cards revealed that his suicide had nothing to do with the supernatural. He took his own life because of a terrible illness. I can feel it. Your stepfather had cancer.
Yes, the pain was unbearable for him. He just couldn't take it anymore.
Then, was Karolina's father's spirit referring to a different Alexander, but who?
Coming up in the next episode, what is Karolina hiding from the clairvoyance?
Olena, I need to speak with you, alone, right now.
I only caught one word, mother.
Karolina's mother, a brutal, savage murder. That's what happened to her.
Don't miss it. A horrifying family secret exposed.
I hear someone telling her mother, your daughter will kill you.
You feel guilty about your mother's death.
Yes.
Karolina, it's time to tell the truth. What really happened to her?
A ghost from the other side is trying to kill three sisters. Why is the enraged spirit seeking revenge? Don't miss out. The psychics will expose the ruthless killer. Ukraine. A hill in one of the southern cities that is considered a place of power. Jana Shulikova and Yaroslava Fedorova are here to perform a cleansing ritual for their ritual items. After the ritual, the clairvoyants return to the van waiting for them in a nearby courtyard. Suddenly, a noise and a scream come from the window of a residential building.
There's someone's spirit there.
Shall we enter? What's your name?
Hanna.
What happened here?
I still have goosebumps.
This young woman's name is Hanna Taturevich. She says that her usually calm cat went insane and started hissing wildly, and then she darted out the window.
I was shocked.
At that moment, woman also saw a shadow in front of her.
It was dark and terrifying. I couldn't move or breathe. I couldn't do anything.
Hanna is 23, and she's a shop assistant. She lives in this apartment with her husband. According to Hanna, her life has recently turned into hell, and she's constantly being pursued by someone from the other world.
I can't sleep at night because I feel someone breathing next to me and touching me.
It was a killer spirit. I realized that if we didn't intervene, it would end badly for Hanna.
The spirit grabs her by the throat and strangles her.
This has happened more than once. Something strangles me and doesn't let me wake up. I have marks on my neck.
The spirit is bound to you and it poses danger to you. I hear an engine rumbling. It's something.
It was a car.
It turned out that not long ago, Hanna and her husband Valery were driving home from work, and she also saw a dark silhouette at an intersection ahead.
It was something black, shaped as a human.
At that moment, the car door suddenly opened by itself. It was the door on Hanna's side.
I heard the click followed by her scream.
Right before her husband's eyes, his wife fell out of the car onto the road at full speed. Valery slammed on the brakes.
You felt as if someone shoved you, right?
Yes, something really threw me out of the car. I fell and hit my head.
I jumped out, picked her up, and dragged her back into the car.
I woke up in the ambulance, covered in blood. I had a fracture of the right temporal bone. I only survived by a miracle.
My goodness, you saw the spirit in a dream. It was a woman.
She had black hair and was wearing a white robe. Please help me. I beg you.
The psychics go to the van to get their cards and ritual items.
I had a terrifying vision. I saw a man completely covered in blood. He was murdered. And there was a woman with a knife standing next to him.
Was that Hanna?
I didn't see her face, but the energy was very similar.
I saw a dead woman holding two huge dogs on a leash. And they were trying to attack someone.
I had a dream of two big black dogs. They were chasing me, and it was terrible.
Who is that woman? I don't understand. She deprived me, and I'll deprive her.
Maybe Hanna took something from this spirit? I hear words. The gift. The gift.
You possess something that belongs to someone else.
It was a gift. Dare per favore. It's in Italian. Have you been to Italy?
No, it's from Valeri's mother. She lives in Italy.
It turned out that Hanna's mother-in-law moved to Italy, and she sends gifts to her son and daughter-in-law from there.
Look, metal.
Let me show you. Here.
A dead person's energy. Can I ask someone to look up the translation of this phrase? Dare per favore.
What language is it?
Italian.
The phrase translates as, please give.
The earrings used to belong to a woman who's now dead.
Italians. The deceased owner of this jewelry didn't wish Hanna harm. She just wanted her earrings back.
Where did your mother-in-law get them?
She often buys things at flea markets.
Hanna's mother-in-law unintentionally gave her a dead person's jewelry, but we had to return the earrings to their owner.
The woman lived by the sea, and the best way to return her earrings is to throw them into the sea.
Hold them into the water. What's this?
Quiet. Quiet.
Yaroslava, don't touch it.
Wait. The snake is a mediator between the worlds of the dead and the living. I saw a woman next to it. She came to say that she was taken away. She's of average height. She has fair blonde hair. Do you know who this could be?
Maria, my sister. I lost 2 sisters. Maria died first, and then Snezhana.
This is horrific. Hanna's both sisters died from sudden cardiac arrest when they were young.
I was so shocked that I couldn't recover for a long time.
Both sisters felt absolutely fine, and neither of them ever complained about her heart.
Maria is telling me, save them all, or they will follow us. Who does she mean by all?
I have 2 more sisters.
Can you call both of them and arrange a meeting?
Of course.
Hanna calls her sisters, who live in the same city, and within half an hour, she and the clairvoyants are already at the house of the youngest sister, Yulia. The elder sister is expected to arrive soon.
Hello.
Hello.
Yulia is 19. She's married and studying to be a pharmacist. 6 months ago, she gave birth to a son.
We sense a woman's spirit is hunting you and your sisters.
And you feel her.
Yes, I do. It gives me goosebumps.
Your son feels her too.
He sees her. He sees her. I'm deeply worried for my son.
The situation is similar to yours. Did you also have an accident?
Last summer, my husband and I were driving on the ring road and the car almost overturned.
Yulia suffered a terrible head injury and almost lost an eye.
Help us, please.
The woman is mad at someone from your family for some reason.
Meanwhile, Yulia and Hanna's elder sister joins them. Olena is 30. She has a husband and 2 children and works as a hotel administrator.
You also feel some evil presence.
Yes. Help us, please.
Were you also hurt in an accident, just like your sisters?
I was hit by a bus. It ran over me. It just dragged me along the road, tearing my flesh. The doctor said they needed to amputate my leg. They also said I wouldn't be able to have children, but they did the impossible to save my legs, and I have 2 wonderful children.
Both Maria and Snezhana had accidents too.
The cards showed me that the woman's spirit started haunting the sisters back when they lived with their parents. But what I saw next shocked me deeply.
Did your mother abandon you?
She said, "Be damned," looking me, Maria, and the late Snezhana in the faces.
I felt that the sisters and their mother shared no bond that should normally exist between a mother and her children.
We grew up in an orphanage.
Wait, but your father and mother are alive.
The Child Protective Services took us because they didn't take care of us at all.
We were starving. We often had nothing to eat.
When the younger sisters were sent to the orphanage, 19-year-old Olena was already living separately. She had married early to escape her family. The older sisters, Maria and Snezhana, also had their own families. The younger ones had it the worst. Hanna was 12 at the time, and Yulia was only 8.
I remember moments at the orphanage when I cried and said to Hanna, "Hanna, I want mom and dad. Where are mom and dad?" And she would say, "There are no mom and dad. Go to sleep."
I see a hand swinging at you and grabbing your hair like this, and then the hair falls to the ground. What is this?
She cut my hair, the orphanage director. I never told anyone about this.
Hanna says the orphanage was a real hell for her and her sister. The children were punished for no reason, right in front of others, because the director didn't like the tone in which the Hanna spoke to her.
She wanted to make you kneel in front of everyone.
I didn't kneel, and it infuriated her. She beat me and beat me. When she saw I wasn't crying, she took the scissors, grabbed my hair, and cut it all off, leaving me with a boy's haircut. The regime there was worse than in prison. I kid you not.
Did you attempt to run away?
Yes, on foot, wearing slippers and a nightgown, in February.
It's 30 kilometers from the city.
I remember it like it was yesterday. We stood there freezing, and Mom opened the door, and then she called a car and sent us back.
Here's what your mother's busy with: drinking.
She never visited us, not even once.
Your father loved you a lot.
He would say we were his dearest things.
If it weren't for your mother, he would have taken you all home, and it would have been a proper family.
Yes, when we were taken to the orphanage, he said, "I want to take you back so much, but I can't right now."
Your mother wouldn't let him do it.
Yes.
I sensed that the sister's father was completely dependent on his wife, and the mother didn't let him take the children because they interfered with her living the way she wanted. But your father is no longer alive.
Yes, we still love him and always will.
He visits you in your dreams. He wants to tell you about this evil force.
He appeared in my and Yulia's dreams. I've had this dream twice. He said, "You must know the secret." But what secret did he mean?
What was his name?
Volodymyr.
And at that moment, I got a vision. I saw the father, still young, standing by a motorcycle. Their mother saw him. She pointed at him and said, "He will be mine."
Olena, the eldest sister, says that's exactly how their parents met. Their father came to visit his relatives in the village where their mother lived at the time.
Dad, wearing a leather jacket, rode his motorcycle there, and the girls gathered around, all saying, "What a guy." And Mom came out and said, "He will be mine."
And then he changed and became an entirely different person, as if he were bewitched.
It really seemed like he was bewitched.
A love spell affects a man.
Like poison.
The man starts drinking and can't see his woman's real self adequately, and he does whatever she tells him to do.
Yes, he loved her madly. She was very mean to him, but he would be like, "Natalia, my dear baby."
I can't understand why he loved her so much. She humiliated him, and she destroyed him morally.
A love spell often binds an entity or spirit to a person, and this otherworldly force can haunt not only the person it was cast on, but also their relatives. Perhaps the spirit of the woman hunting the sisters is the result of the love spell their mother cast on their father.
At that moment, I saw the dead woman from my dream again. She was lying bloodied on the road, and I heard her say a very strange phrase. I am looking for the one who's hovering in the darkness, and only at the end of the investigation did I understand who she was talking about.
We need to see if your mother actually cast the spell on your father. Do you know where she is?
Yes, we communicate with her, but not as closely as we would like, so let's go.
The sister's mother is currently at work, but within half an hour, the psychics are already near the hotel where she works.
Good evening.
Hello, Natalia.
Hanna's mother looks like an ordinary woman. You would never guess she abandoned her children. But looking at her, I somehow saw a bloody knife in her hands. There is blood on your hands. Are you a murderer?
I killed my husband, yes.
Natalia and her husband were celebrating New Year's Eve at her sister's place. After midnight, the relatives went to greet their neighbors, leaving the couple alone, and they started arguing.
He started beating me, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't calm him down, so I pushed him away with a knife.
What's that supposed to mean?
I stabbed him and he fell.
I saw a man completely covered in blood. He was murdered, and there was a woman with a knife standing next to him.
There was one stab. I quickly called an ambulance and the police, and they arrived and took us both away.
Lies. A tug on the clothes, a struggle, and 2 direct stabs. One here and the other one here. That's a lot of blood. But he could have been saved.
I called the ambulance immediately.
You ran away to hide and...
Who found him?
Our aunt.
It turned out that when the aunt and her husband returned to their apartment, the girl's mother wasn't there, and Volodymyr was lying on the floor, bleeding. The hosts immediately called their nieces.
She said, "Your mom killed your dad and ran away." Naturally, I was stunned. And then she said, "He's still breathing. He can still be saved." I called an ambulance.
However, the man died on the way to the hospital. Natalia has claimed all these years that her husband attacked her out of jealousy, and she was only defending herself. But the daughters still don't believe that their father could have hurt their mother.
Dad wasn't like that. He would never have done that.
Let's not judge me. I've already served my time for this.
It's useless to talk to her. If she had at least repented, we would have forgiven her.
Hanna, what do you mean?
We simply want you to apologize to us for our horrible childhood and for Dad.
You took away Dad, you see?
What are you trying to say?
You've been running all your life.
Away from your children and from your conscience.
That's enough.
This woman still doesn't understand anything. Our psychic abilities won't help here. There's no ritual that can bring back a mother to her daughters.
But still, did Natalia cast a love spell on her husband? No, she didn't. He really loved her very much.
Then, whose spirit is driving these young women to despair?
The woman's spirit is avenging the death of a young man.
Did any one of you lose her boyfriend?
He's hanged.
Our eldest sister did.
Snezhana. Her boyfriend hanged himself.
How old was he?
20.
But why is he hanging above you?
I was first to find him. I was 5.
Did he do it at your home?
Yes.
It turned out that Snezhana's boyfriend, Petro, came to talk about something with her mother. When Snezhana returned home from work at around 10 in the evening, her mother wasn't home, but her boyfriend was hanging from the chandelier in the middle of the room. Little Hanna, who had woken up to get some water, was standing next to him.
I still remember his sneakers dangling like it was yesterday. First I thought, why is he flying? And then I started screaming.
I am looking for the one who's hovering in the darkness. Then I realized that the dead woman from my vision was talking about Petro.
He had a very unpleasant conversation with your mother. You won't step over me, and we don't need you here.
Because he was an orphan.
Yes, he was an orphan.
You have nothing. Go away.
My God, he wanted to marry your sister. Petro was going to propose to Snezhana, but her mother strongly disapproved of the marriage.
He came to propose to Snezhana, but I said I'm against it. And you won't step over me.
I see it now. The sisters are being haunted by Petro's mother because due to his suicide, she can't reunite with him as they are in different worlds.
And his mother's death? It was related to a vehicle.
After the psychic's investigation, our journalists found out that the mother of Snezhana's fiancé indeed died under the wheels of a car while riding her bicycle to work. Her son was only 12 years old at the time.
The sisters are being taken by the dead boy's mother. She directs her rage at them, which is why I saw her with the furious dogs. This woman suffers in the afterlife without her son, whom she loved very much. She has already killed 2 sisters and is now hunting the other 3 to avenge their mother. She wants Natalia to be left without her children and to suffer as she does.
Poor thing, she doesn't understand from the other world that your mother won't feel that.
She doesn't understand how it's even possible not to love your child.
No, we don't understand it either.
How can we protect ourselves from her now? Will you help us?
For the spirit summoning ritual, we took herbs collected on the sacred hill in the morning. Since your mother didn't kneel, I'll do it for her. Please come to us and forgive her. She's here.
Please forgive our mother for all the trouble she caused, to us and to you.
It's not our fault.
She accepted the apology.
Her spirit is gone.
Thank you so much.
We want to say a big, big thank you and give you a hug.
What an unbelievable story. So much grief within a single family. If it touched you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Many more amazing stories are coming up.